Okay, folks, this is crazy. I've already recorded 3 videos today. Maybe it's this extra, no, it's not just the extra energy. There's just something that's not been said that wants to be said. So here I am again. Um, what is it? I think it's something about the effortlessness of your being and being in heart. People only get stuck on the spiritual path, only spend decades trekking around to conferences and seminars and buying this and that and tapes and books and videos and all the rest of it. I think that's symptomatic of still being in mind. And that's fine. We learn a lot that way. And I've got nothing whatever against that path. But we're waking up. And the shortest distance is through the heart. You're finding, and I'm finding, and I am so delighted. The various speakers that I'm tuning into lately, I'm hearing everybody singing my song. I'm singing their song. We're all singing the same song. The pathway is through heart. And it's not really a pathway, it's not really a walk. But words flunk and fail when it comes to explaining this. I now really have a heart understanding of why the Tao Te Ching opens, or Tao Te Ching, however you say it, opens the way that it does, saying, you know, if it's the truth, it's not in words. If it's in words, it's not the truth. And I know I butchered that. But it's like St. Thomas Aquinas, the great doctor of the church. There aren't all that many that the church regarded so highly as to give them the title of doctor. And he went totally silent later in life. He's the one that wrote Summa Theologica. I mean, that's still a basic reference today. It's fine scholarship, deep scholarship. And yet, apparently, and I'm stepping out here, but apparently he had an experience or came to an understanding that made him realize and feel that everything he'd said was just pure foolishness. And I guess he knew better than to try to go back and fix it, because it was all based on mind and mental understanding. And that's great. I mean, look at the wonderful things we build with mind. Just, and look to, let's say look to the super high tech, the extreme advancements of other races that are maybe millions of years older in their self-awareness than ours is, and their advanced technology, their advanced mentation. They're not restricted to 10 or 30% of the brain, you know, and maybe they have bigger biological brains as well, whatever. I don't think that has a whole lot to do with anything. And let me tell you something. I majored in psychology for a while. I've mentioned this before. I was in it in about 2.5 years, maybe, you know, I was in my 3rd year when I was in a couple of classes, one in sociology and another that was psychology, where the professors, when I quizzed and questioned them, I just couldn't believe that they honestly, sincerely believed they were teaching solid truth, that this was absolutely reality, this was the way it was, this was what was understood, and there was no give in them. They really sincerely believed that. And I felt sorry for them, and I was really put off by it too. I didn't want to get caught in that trap, because if they couldn't see that all science is across the board is the latest good theories on things. I mean, it's our latest understanding. That's what it is. Once upon a time, good, hard, solid science said the earth was flat, and it was patently obvious. Wasn't it obvious that we were standing right side up here? And obviously nobody could be standing upside down. They'd fall. You know, I mean, it was just so clear. It was so apparent to the understanding of the day. It was bizarre to think otherwise. Well, that's where these scientists are. That's where these professors are. They're locked in the logical mind, and it gets into those traps all the time. And so I apologize. I forgot why I went off on that tear. Maybe it'll come back to me. I really did go off, didn't I? But mind isn't the way, and heart, it's not that it knows. It is so hard to put this into words. It is so challenging. And that's why it makes me feel so good too, folks, when you comment me, when you write to me, you message me. I'm hearing uh, enough of you saying that you're getting the energy. You're reading. You're in your heart and you're reading the energy that's flowing through, because we are energy beings. There's nothing solid about us. Everything that's solid is nothing more than a seeming. And people get all excited about this shape-shifting stuff, and they're just determined it's impossible and all that. But if you knew you were just an energy being, um, it's really a lot like being in a dream. In a dream, you can play multiple parts in your dream, or you can be a little child, and then in a few minutes you can be an elderly person. Anything's possible. Well, that's how it is. It's just that in the dream, as soon as you think about a place, you're there. As soon as you think a thing, you're experiencing it. Well, maybe that's what we have to look forward to in the higher dimensions. Um, what's in the way? Right now, we're just clearing what's in the way. It's like we're this brilliant, infinitely radiant, and beautiful faceted gem. But through the eons, it's been covered over with every kind of dirt, gunge, sludge that you can think of. And so it's getting a cleaning. And, the parts that are starting to peek out from under the grime, those are the awakening parts. Those are the awakening experiences. It's not that we have to become something, we are that. If you have to become something, that's by definition requires time. Now, time's going away. I think it's a really good idea to ponder deeply within your heart the absence of time, and perhaps in some of the observing that you're doing, you can put a thought in your heart and drop it and let it go, and then trust that what you need will arise when it's ready from your heart. You don't have to put your mind to it. You don't have to put work or effort into it. It doesn't work like that. All the rules are different now. It's like getting the rug pulled out from under you. Everything you thought you knew and understood, it just melts away. It floats away like it never was. Things that you relied upon heavily, that were just good solid beliefs, you yourself look at them now and you wonder, did I ever believe that? Was that me? Was that some other incarnation, some other lifetime? Because you see through it so clearly and you realize it was just a half truth, or mostly it's the polarity dance that we get into and that we were locked into. As long as we're in left brain consciousness, we're locked into the duality, the polarity of things, and the tendency is to polarize, which means to take one or the other side. We've all been in an argumentative mood or had an argumentative child, where all you have to do is say one thing, you can be guaranteed to get the opposite out of your partner, your mate, your child. If I wanted my daughter to do something, I used to just be able to tell her not to do it. You know, I mean, that's the polarity dance, and we know what that feels like. Well, that's purely mental, and it's purely left brain. Now, I've spoken a little bit about how the body has its own intelligence, And in its own way, it's smarter than mind. It's a different kind of smart. It's not that it's smarter, but it's intelligent, and it doesn't have to analyze, it doesn't have to work things out. It just has knowings, and it will translate those to you. It will give you understandings if you're listening. And the main communication station, for my body at least, is my heart. All the chakras seem to report there, seem to, it just seems to be, not grand central, but it seems to be the main switching station for everything. Have you ever caught yourself? I know I've done this for years, and it has to do with the body's intelligence. It's a silly little thing, but remember, everybody's now is full of what might look like silly little things. But come on, that's the fabric of reality. Um, I think I'm going to back the camera out a little bit. It's just a little thing, but I wanted to show you that to take your hands and to just like doodling when you're doodling. Oh, this is awkward. But just to take your fingers and put them together. No, it's not working. Okay, so you don't put them together. But if you put them as on a keyboard, then what I would find myself doing is on one hand, I would be going 1, 3, 5, or thumb, middle finger, little finger. On the other hand, I would be going 5, 3, 1. So I would be doing the mirror opposite with my hands, with my fingers, with tapping, with little things that you're used to doing with your right hand all the time.